Welcome to another adventure of Kaimani and me. So this time me and Renier, we did a little 3-day expedition, and here we're doing the Ouberg Pass. It's a biker friendly route. Normally in winter time this area is completely flooded. So I was telling Renier, he's never done this route before. Beautiful, but in the summertime it's dried out. So here we're coming through a little foot trail for the workers. And we were entering here the Cederberg Valley. Quickly stopped at the Cederberg Oasis for some chow and a beer. And then the rider with the GS, he wanted to go with us on the Bank and Wuppertal route, which is a 4x4 route. You can see as the local guys on the back of the bucky, what we call a bucky. So he followed us, but with the GS and the sand, the first thick sand section, he put the girl down. And he actually had a pillion on the back as well. So luckily they came off all right. But then the second time they came off much harder. And he went into that ditch. Luckily missed most of the big rocks. Luckily, the girl only had normal sneakers on, so luckily she didn't break an ankle. But yeah, no, the GS was not happy with those terrains, and he was not too competent of a rider. So we quickly helped him out there of the ditch. Yeah, that was a rough one. He can be so lucky that nothing really serious happened. So then me and Renier, we quickly went on a little two-spoor to see a waterfall. And then we met up with them again, but his girlfriend said, not riding with you on this sand. So she climbed off, and there he almost wiped out again. So that was rough. And it was quite hot that day, so he was boiling. We never saw him again after that. So yeah, we're coming down into the Wuppertal area. And then after that, me and Renier, we carried on. We were making our way to the Kraal with Kyle. What a legend. And this is now the Bido Valley, very famous for wildflowers in the springtime. It's also farming areas, so you got to keep the gates closed. And here we arrived at Kraal with Kyle. Beautiful accommodation in the middle of the mountains in the Bido Valley. There's Kyle. So this is the little pub, and it's a nice pool area for a little cool down. There's a nice little overview of his farm. A really nice place to go stay. I can definitely recommend it. On the banks of the Renier, you can see there. So in the summertime, it's completely dried out, but in wintertime, it gets completely flooded. So here some of the local boys from the farms, and then also the guy in the yellow t-shirt was a cyclist heading through South Africa. So as the night set up, we were just having a nice little gathering and a braai. There, Kyle bride for us some meat. It was a good evening, and then Renier passed out right there next to the good old Boer dog. We covered him up, but we were sharing a room that night, so he did get up and we slept in a room. Next morning, Kyle sorted us out with some fuel. Legends, you can get fuel there if you get stuck. We had a long journey ahead of us, so we got some fuel from him. So you can see there's a nice little overview of his farm. And there's the Renier. So during the winter time, it gets flooded, and you've got a little blue raft that you can use to get the bikes over. See, that's the route we did. You can see the blue raft, but the bottom of this sand track is quite rocky. So you got to be careful. It's a lot of rocks underneath that sand. So I got through there, and you can see Renier paddling through. You can't just hoof it through that, because there's a lot of rocks underneath that. And then the cyclist left before us, so we passed him. He was heading up north, and we were going to the east. So here we're entering then essentially the Tangwa Karu. We rode past an ostrich, and then Renier, he lost one of his runners. So I picked one up. He actually lost both. I only found one. And yeah, we had a little stop just to catch up and just refresh ourselves. It's always good to just stop and catch up. And then we took on the open barrenness of the land. Beautiful. Here we're entering the Tankwa National Park. And then what was very special at this section, we saw a mighty herd of oryx or Gemsbok. You can see them passing the road there. Beautiful, massive antelopes passing over. Yes, just making a full dust cloud. That was a very special sighting we had. So from here we went to the Gannaga Pass, a very special pass that was started in 1895 by the Middelpos construction, the council, but then they ran out of money. So they stopped with it. And then was during the public works program of the Great Depression in 1930, they finished this whole pass. It's 6 kilometers long. And the people who died during the construction, they all are buried at the foot of this pass. So you can see a nice little overview. That's where we came from the Tankwa Karu area. And then look at that, just that beautiful pass coming up to the top side. Very, very special. And this will connect you then to Middelpos. And then we were heading towards the Sutherland. Just look at that, so beautiful. This was in summertime, so everything was quite dry. But normally it's quite dry there anyways. It just gets a little bit more greener. Here you can see the local transport with the donkey carts. That's the real locals. And then we stopped for lunch in Sutherland. And this was then the coldest town of South Africa. This is the Boorgat restaurant. I can definitely recommend stopping here. Really cool, the Boorgat bar. The coldest town. So the lowest recorded heat was minus 16.4 at night and minus 6 during the day. We got some nice chow. I went for a burger with egg on top. And here we're coming down the Ouberg Pass. So this pass was only really properly built in 1968 and finished in 1969 and was used by farmers to move their livestock between the winter and summer grazing areas. That one is 10 kilometers long and it's 800 meters climb. So we took a little route heading towards our accommodation that I saw on my Tracks for Africa, and we got through some proper rough stuff. And here the sun was setting, so as we were heading we got that sun right in our faces, but so beautiful. It was quite hot that day, so Renier took his jacket off. Just look at that. So we were heading to Bike Escape, and this is then a accommodation owned by Michelle. That was the little house we stayed in for the evening. And there's the Karoo donkeys, beautiful animals. Hard workers. And this was my room here, and then Renier was in the one next door. Nice shower there. So yeah, beautiful accommodation. I can fully recommend. But the next morning, Renier had a flat in the back tire and he had a smiley on the front tire. So they had to fix that. There's a smiley they tried to fix. Eventually they couldn't, and I had to get back home. So I had to leave Renier there. I had to get back home for work. There Michelle's helping as well. But yeah, very nice accommodation. I can fully recommend Bike Escape. And then, so I said my farewells and I made a mission home. I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you in the next one.